Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to the latest, next, whatever episode of my top 5 movies since for each year since I was born. I still don't know what I'm calling it. How long have I been doing this now? We're up to 1994 anyway. So we've quite a few episodes in, and I still don't know what to call the show. But anyway, whatever. So we're up to 1994. I've got 5 films and quite a few honourable mentions. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on where are we? YouTube. We're live on Rumble, yes, and we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I do Twitch. Don't know. Anyway, don't know why anybody does. Money, I suppose, but I don't get any. So anyway. What else? Explore the description. Where are we? There we go. Explore the description for links for stuff such as merch. My books, which are underneath something, Amazon Kindle and paperback, my websites, my music web channel that I've just started up, there's a link for that in there, and what else, and other stuff as well. Become a member and then you'll get early access stuff and exclusive videos and things of that nature, and super chats and super thanks are greatly appreciated. And Wingrace is here. He says 1994 has a movie I love but doubt I'll have. Oh, haha. It has multiple Trek actors in it, hint hint. I've no idea. Maybe it'll be there, I don't know, but we will see. We will see. Right, so shall we get on with it? We will, as I said, I've got 5 of my favourite movies of 1994. Not particularly the best movies. I think they are, but, you might not. And I have loads of honourable mentions. I'm sure I'll have films in there, such as Wingrace has just said, that I haven't thought of. Or maybe I've just not seen. I was doing 1995, and I'm going through the list of films that came out in 1995, and I'm thinking, the super famous films that I've never got round to watching. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but anyway. Which I couldn't include because I've not seen them, so there we go. So as I said, it's my top 5 favourite movies and honourable mentions. Not necessarily the best ones. They're not in any order. It's not a countdown. Where the first one is the best or the worst or whatever. It's not that. It's just a list. They're not in any order. Right. So we shall begin, shall we? How do I do this? I can't remember. Oh, I've got to full screen. That answer. There we go. And add it to the stage. There we go. First up, number 1. Oh, whatever. Maybe not, but whatever. Stargate, the movie. Directed by Roland Emmerich. Written by Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin. Also produced. Starring Kurt Russell, James Spader, etc. And it's a rip-roaring sci-fi action-adventure. And it's spawned several TV series. Which are all better than the film, in my humble opinion. I love the film, but I think all the series are miles better than the movie, to be completely honest. But anyway, the French Stewart and Richard Kind vehicle. Yes, it is. Yes, they are the main stars of the film. I can never remember her name now. I think she's a Swedish actress. She was in Creep Show. She plays Catherine. What's her face? Are they supposed to be German? Because they're all speaking German at the beginning of this film. Catherine and her dad. So are they supposed to be German? But yet, Langford, Catherine Langford and her dad, whose name I forgot. Are they supposed to be German, or they're just speaking German? I have no idea. But anyway, whatever. So there we go. So that's Stargate. Great film. Really, really good film. Introduced us to, I can't say the Goa'uld because they weren't the Goa'uld, but introduced us to the Stargate and probably the concept of a Stargate. We've seen films before that had portals that you pass through, but never done quite such a, exciting way, with the whoosh and the water and like stepping through a puddle. But anyway. Witnesses, I think so, because Daniel speaks there in German in 1969 to prove he knew a dad. There you go. Prove. You spelt it right. I think. Yeah. Anyway. Fair enough. I can't remember. You know what I'm like with my memory. But yes, Stargate, top film, really good. And it probably, I don't know, it could be my number one of that year. I don't know. But there's one at the end of my top 5 that could supplant it. Maybe I don't know. Any of these could be my top film, to be completely honest. Right, moving on. Moving on to the next one. True Lies, which we did not long ago. Well, on Monday, to be honest. A couple of days ago, on Magnificent Mondays. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, written and directed by James Cameron, based on this French film, which I've been looking for. I did find it in, completely legal way, but there were no... It were in French with no subtitles, so that didn't help, did it? Anyway. I spelled it right, but he didn't know her dad. He was lying because time travel, so it was not actually true. All right, fair enough. Oh, you meant like prove. If you thought it was misspelled, you'd have put an asterisk, wouldn't you? Sorry. Oh, you did do. Have we? Oh no, it's a thing in it. My eyes are terrible. Anyway, where were we? True Lies. Another rip-roaring adventure. James Cameron's go at a Bond movie. It's really, really good. A great script. Hilarious in places. Bill Paxton steals the show as Simon, a bloke pretending to be a spy, but then comes across real-life spies. He's not in it enough. But anyway. Charlton Heston as Spencer Trilby, who is basically Nick Fury before he became Samuel L. Jackson. But there we go. So that's True Lies, top film. Have I still got it? I'll put it away. I've put my Blu-ray away. I can't show it. Never mind. Right, next up in my list. Oh, for Pete's sake, if I go on to my thing. The Shawshank Redemption. This is one of those films, in it, that's always in people's top lists. But it was a box office bomb when it was first released, and then it kind of got word of mouth started, and it got re-released, and then became a hit after that. Amazing film. Frank Darabont. Has he made a bad film? I don't think he has. He's not made many. That's the trouble. Anyway, Hasselhoff was Fury before. Yes, he was, wasn't he? Yes, he was. And you better come back in Doomsday. Hey, you never know, do you? With this multiverse stuff, you never know. But unfortunately in that Spider-Man one, No Way Home, I don't think they got Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man, did they, from the 70s? But never mind. And he's still knocking about, I think. Anyway, Shawshank Redemption, written and directed by Frank Darabont. I think all of his films that is directed, written and directed, have been based on Stephen King stories, haven't they? His first one, he did a short, didn't he? I can't remember what it called, something like The Woman, or something to do with a woman, which I've not seen. That was based on a Stephen King short story. And then I think he did this one, didn't he? And then The Green Mile, another amazing film. If you don't cry watching that, then I don't know what's up with you. And then he did The Mist, didn't he? And then he's done more producing after that, hasn't he? He wrote The Blob, the 1988, I think, remake of The Blob. He wrote that. He's done quite a few writing credits. And, of course, he helped bring The Walking Dead to the TV screens. And they didn't get the Japanese Spider-Man. No, they didn't, did they? I've never seen the Japanese one. I've heard of it. Oh, hang on. They did. It was in the cafe at the end, was it? Oh, right. Oh, I missed that. I'll have to have a look again. They didn't point him out, did they? I don't think. I've only seen it once, No Way Home, so I'll have to watch it again. Anyway, but I've seen other people saying he wasn't in it, so anyway, I don't know. So anyway, Shawshank Redemption, based on a Stephen King story about a man wrongly imprisoned, Tim Robbins, wrongly imprisoned for, I think, his wife's murder. He didn't do. I think during his time in prison, he's given a life sentence. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, in Shawshank Prison. Behave yourself, princess. And he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And then I think the warden, who can't remember who he's played by. Let me look. Bob Gunton plays the warden, who was a proper baddie. We've got Clancy Brown as well as one of the warders, another baddie. I think during his incarceration, it's proved that he didn't do it. I think it's one of the prisoners that comes into the prison, like confesses to the murder, but by that time, Tim Robbins' character is so important to the warder because he kind of does he was an accountant and he kind of does his taxes. He's making him loads of money. I think he has him bumped off. So he can keep Tim Robbins in prison. It's an amazing film. It's an amazing film with Morgan Freeman as well, and William Sadler, and it is astonishingly good. And if you haven't seen it, watch it now. Well, after this stream. Right, next up, Pulp Fiction from Quentin Tarantino, starring all them people there: John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson. This is the film that kind of rejuvenated John Travolta's career, wasn't it? Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, we can see there, Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Maria de Medeiros. Who the hell does she play? I have no idea. Ving Rhames, Eric Stoltz, Rosanna Arquette, Christopher Walken, and Bruce Willis. Hang on, where is he? Wingers is still on about Nicholas Hammond. Make me think of the wrong person. There is some camera at the end, or I'm in an alternate. You're probably right. I will check later. And tell you next time if I remember. Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction, great film. I love this film. My favourite Quentin Tarantino film. It's all over the place, much as Quentin Tarantino films are, because they're not. He's not known for his films being like chronological, so it skips backwards and forwards. I wonder if there's an edit out there of it all in chronological order. They did the thing with Sin City. Remember the film Sin City? Another film I love. That was originally released. The theatrical version, was not in chronological order. The stories in it, but there is an edit that puts them in chronological order, which kind of mucks up the film and takes all the fun out of it. But anyway. Wingray says, I just googled it and everyone says it wasn't. I can't check because it isn't streaming anywhere. I have. All right. No, I don't think it is for me either. It's a Sony film, isn't it? It might be on Netflix, you never know. But I don't think it is. Where were we? Great film. I said several interconnected stories about, crime in Los Angeles and weird stuff going on. The story of Ving Rhames. I can't remember the names of the characters now, top of my head. Ving Rhames plays like a gangster boss, and John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson is his henchman. And they're transporting a case for him that's got something in that we don't know what it is, but it glows golden. These weird, I don't know, student kids, I don't know, made something for him. I don't know. The story's that it's his soul or something like that. I don't know, but because he's got a plaster on the back of his neck. But anyway, it's one of these films that you can talk about forever and never get to the bottom of it. I don't know if Quentin Tarantino's ever explained what it's all about, but it is an astonishingly good film with a great score and a great cast and a great script. And it is really, really fun to watch. So there we go. And next up, I think this is the last one, isn't it? Yeah. And one more. My top 5 is... Oh, please, I keep forgetting to do that. Star Trek Generations. The next generation's first foray into the big screen adventures. And I love it. Apart from the bits with Captain Kirk in it. But anyway. Yeah. I've got my own version. I edited my own version. I've got Kirkless Generations. I just edited out all the Captain Kirk bits. And it makes for a pretty, a decent, next generation movie by itself. You don't need Kirk in it. You honestly don't. But they wanted to do a passing of the torch that begins with, spoilers, it begins with the death of Captain Kirk. Scotty obviously forgets that he's died because we see him pop up in the next generation, and he obviously forgot about that. But never mind. Wingray says the only TNG film that actually feels like it could be the show. Well, I think Insurrection is like a 2-part TNG episode, isn't it? I think. But this is good. If that's it, with the Captain Kirk parts in it is fine, but my version that I've edited him out is better in my opinion. But anywho, but it is fun and it's nice to see him on the big screen. Can't really tell that much difference in the effects between the big screen version and the TNG version. But we are introduced to stellar cartography. I think we'd heard it mentioned before. I don't know if we'd ever seen it before this. So the big room with all the stars in, which is kind of cool. But anywho, a lot of fun. Spoilers, Captain Kirk dies twice in this film. But obviously William Shatner wasn't happy with that, so he brought him back in book form, didn't he, in his... the Return or whatever they call it, and I can't remember what they call it. He wrote several books about Captain Kirk's return, didn't he? I'm saying wrote because I think he basically just had some ideas and proper authors did the hard work. Wingray says, Insurrection is like an episode premise, but the characters don't feel at all like they were in TNG. Not really, yeah. Well, some of them do, but... I think they started getting a bit big for the boots, hadn't they, by that time? Because they were movie stars now, weren't they? But anyway. I think the novelisation, or another novel, explains the Scotty thing was due to transporter aphasia. Yeah. From being in the buff for so long. Yeah. Didn't forget about Franklin, though, did he? Poor Franklin. I feel sorry for him. Anywho, so there we go. So that's... Me top 5. I wonder whatever happened to... We've never seen the Nexus again. It's still travelling about the galaxy. We've never seen it again, have we? That's what I don't think. But anyway, never mind. Never mind. Not in canon, not on screen. I'm sure it's been in books and comics and whatever. Maybe video games, I don't know, but on screen. But anyway, so that's my top 5 of 1994. We'll go through them again. Oh, I keep doing this wrong. We'll go through them again before we get to the honourable mentions. So we had Stargate, the movie starring Kurt Russell, James Spader, True Lies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Jamie Lee Curtis. We all remember, the dancing scene. And some people actually think there's like a conspiracy theory, isn't it, that Jamie Lee Curtis is a hermaphrodite. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway. Wingate says, I bet Lower Decks would have, if it lasted long. It probably would, yes. Lower Decks would have explored the Nexus. Anyway, then we had True Lies, and then the Shawshank Redemption, Tim Robbins. The poster kind of spoils the film. That's where his escape from prison. But anyway, then Pulp Fiction, great film. And Star Trek Generations, with or without Captain Kirk. It is a fun flick. Not the only thing I don't like about it is Picard losing his family, his only living family. I'm guessing it doesn't mention his brother and his nephew are killed. Spoilers again. Are killed in a fire, but it don't mention his brother's wife, so his sister-in-law. Don't mention her. Is she still knocking about? Don't know. But anyway. But yeah, I didn't like that bit. But luckily he has another kid, so the Picard line doesn't end, because he says in this film, the Picard line ends, or whatever. There shall be no more Picards, but we know that there are. So there we go, so that's my top 5. Right, so we'll get on to the honourable mentions now. There's quite a few of these. Hey. Now then. If I can remember where I put them. There they are. Have I pressed the wrong button? Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. I'm stupid. There we go. Hang on. It was Patrick's idea. The original plan was just his brother to die of a heart attack. That sounds about right, doesn't it? But Sir Pat Stew wanted carnage. Yeah, isn't it? Stop letting him have ideas, for crying out bloody loud. Nemesis, he wanted to drive a bloody car, didn't he? A dune buggy. So they invented the Argo, whatever the hell it were called. A stupid thing. Ooh. tell he's a frigging idiot, Patrick Stewart. I'm ashamed that he's from like 2 miles from me in that direction. He's from Murfield, which is not far from where I live. And he sounds exactly like me, doesn't he, in his accent? Sounds just like me. Soon lost that bugger, didn't he? Anyway, right, so next up, my honourable mentions. I don't know how many there are. I didn't count them up, but we'll get on with it. There we go. Hey, why is it doing that one? It should be that one. Hang on. I've done something wrong, haven't I? Let's try another one. I did the wrong thing. I should be on entire screen, and I'm not. There we go. We'll do it that way. There we go. Add to stage. Right, that's better, isn't it? First up, in my honourable mentions, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Everybody tries to do an impression of Ace Ventura, don't they? Everybody goes, "Oh, righty then," don't they? This nearly made it into my top 5. It was either this or Pulp Fiction, and I thought Pulp Fiction kind of edges it. I love this film. I think it's bleeding hilarious. It does a great impression of Captain Kirk in it, doesn't it? But it is a really good film. I think not Jim Carrey's movie debut. I don't know what that was. I think he'd been in the Deadpool before this, hadn't he? But I think this is his first starring role in a movie. I think. I could be wrong. But Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, hilarious. Thing is, he's got to find a dolphin that's been stolen from the Miami Dolphins. It's their mascot. He's got to find it, and shenanigans ensue with what's the face? I can't remember the name now. That were in Blade Runner. Sean Young. Who's surprisingly funny. Sorry, because I know what happens in it, so I'm just thinking about it. And it is a lot of fun, and it's not for kids. It's not for kids, even though I think they did do a cartoon series version of it, but it's not really for kids. There's no like swearing or gore in it, but there's some adult humour. But Wingrace says, I bet Ace Ventura 3 won't be in that year. What year? I wish they'd do an Ace Ventura. I wish he'd come back to Ace Ventura, but it wouldn't be the same, would it? Anyway, so that's that one. Right, so first up, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Next up, Naked Gun 33 and a third, The Final Insult. Your list for the year it came out. I didn't know they'd done an Ace Ventura 3. Had they? I know they did a Dumb and Dumber 3, didn't they? 2. Whatever. Anyway, 2009, was it? Hang on, let me have a look then. I don't remember the third. Ace Ventura. Film franchise. Standalone made-for-television sequel, Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective. That was 2009. Yeah, I think you're on about that, are you? Without without the involvement of either the lead actor Jim Carrey or writer Steve Odekirk. Yeah, it's about a kid. No, I've not seen that one. That one doesn't count, Wingrace. It stars his son. Anywho, Naked Gun 33 and a third. The Final Insult. Just like the others, it's hilarious. The late, oh God, blanking. Leslie Nielsen, back as Frank Drebin. We're all looking forward to seeing Liam Neeson do his hand at comedy, aren't we? But anyway. O.J. Simpson, what's his face? George Kennedy, and I've forgotten her name as well now. Presley. Lisa Marie. No, not Lisa Marie. Priscilla Presley. But I think everybody just went to see what's her face? Her there. I forgot her name as well. I'm trying to read it on the cast list there. I can't see it. It's not showing her name. I forgot her name. That model with the massive boobs. She married a billionaire, her, and then died. She died, didn't she, young? But her anyway. Everybody went to see her. Anyway, it is really funny, and I can't remember what happens in it, but I do remember enjoying it. We'll move on. Speed, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, and Dennis Hopper as the bad guy. As Homer Simpson knows it as the bus that couldn't slow down. Anyway, it's not Pamela Anderson, no. Oops, set my phone on the keyboard. Oh, right. What are they calling her? It'll come to me in the middle of the night. Anyway, Speed, the bus that couldn't slow down. It's that one where Dennis Hopper plays. So hasn't I've seen it. Is he an ex-cop? Or is he just a bad guy? Anyways, planting bombs up and down. And plants one on this bus, and if it slows down below, I don't know, 60 or whatever, or 50 or whatever, I can't remember. It's going to blow up, and Sandra Bullock is forced to drive this bus, but Keanu Reeves is on the case and sorts it all out, and it is a really, really good film. Yes, that's Anna Nicole Smith. Yes, that's her name. And it's a really, really, really good film. I think directed by Jan de Bont, I do believe. Maybe his first. This might have been his first directorial effort, I think. If I'm right, might not be. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I'm not sure you could jump a bus like they do. Because they're driving on the freeway, and obviously there's some road works, and the road is out, so he jumps it, floors it, and jumps the bus. I don't think that would happen, but never mind. But anyway, Speed is a lot of fun. Right, moving on. What's next? Honestly, I can't remember what I've put in. Wolf, Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer. In a Mike Nichols film. Mike Nichols also did he? Flash Gordon. Was that Mike Nichols? I think it was. I think it was, wasn't it? I'm going to have to check now. Mike Nichols. I'm probably thinking of somebody else. Wolf. And no, he didn't do Flash. Who did Flash Gordon? That was Mike Hodges did Flash Gordon, didn't he? Just remembered. Yes, Mike Hodges did Flash Gordon. I don't think I ever actually saw this. It's really good, actually. Is Wolf? It's kind of a remake of The Wolf Man, where he gets bitten by a wolf, and it's about he doesn't like. It like slowly changes into a wolf, and it's amusing in places, and just have some horrific parts in it. 'Cause it is kind of a horror film, but it's really good, and it's one of those films that's better than you expect. But it's got Jack Nicholson eating up the scenery, and Michelle Pfeiffer's there as well. It's got a nice ending. I really like the ending of it. I won't spoil it, but it is a film that you think, I don't think I'd like that, and then you watch it, you think, well, actually quite good. So there we go. So that's Wolf. Next up, The Lion King from Disney. Which one is it? Macbeth or Hamlet? I can't remember. It's one of them Shakespeare ones, isn't it? That I always get them mixed up. Is it Macbeth? I don't know. Or maybe Hamlet. Whatever. It's one because it's a Shakespeare thing about kingly royal people bumping each other off. It's one of them, isn't it? With Mufasa, the king of the lions, and all the other animals for some reason, gets bumped off by his brother Scar, played by Jeremy Irons. Scar's voiced by James Earl Jones, and his son gets sent away, banished from the lands, from the Pride lands, and grows up to be I forgot his name. Isn't it Godzilla and Glory? Never mind. Is it Hamlet? Fair enough. I was getting mixed up. Unless Nala kills Simba at the end. But she doesn't. Anyway, that's it. It's about the son coming back and reclaiming his throne. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, it is cool and a really good film, and some great songs by Elton John. Is it Elton John? Yeah, Elton John in this film. Really good. Spawned various sequels, direct-to-video sequels, and a live action version, which wasn't just as animated as the original, but whatever. And I've not seen it. But the original is a top flick from Disney when they were at their height. Anyway, moving on. Forrest Gump. I think Tom Hanks won an Oscar for that one, didn't he? I think he won 2 years in a row. He won an Oscar, didn't he? And for this, and was it Philadelphia? Well, not a year before, a year after, can't remember. But yes, Forrest Gump, another great film from Robert Zemeckis. This one, I think it's based on a book in it, but I've never read the book, obviously. And a live action prequel. Yes, there was. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah, Forrest Gump, about a mentally challenged person called Forrest Gump. It's about his life and how he just fell into these situations in his life. And then Philadelphia was 93. Right, fair enough. Didn't make it into my list. I've seen it, but I don't think it did anyway. I've seen it, but not my cup of tea. It was a bit depressing. But I deserved the Oscar for it. But anyway, Forrest Gump, this mentally challenged man who goes through his life, goes to Vietnam, does all this stuff, invents jogging, invests in Apple, a fruit company or something, he called it, but in Apple, then becomes rich. And ends up with a kid, and if you don't cry at that scene, when he first meets his son, again, there's something wrong with you. Because from my journey. Anyway, life is like a box of chocolates, all that stuff. Great film, with some good action in it when he's in Vietnam. And it's funny in places as well. Run, Forrest, run! That boy's a running fool. Anyway, so there we go, Forrest Gump. Great film. They're all great film. This one, I wouldn't call it great, but it's fun. Jim Carrey again in The Mask. This one's directed by the fellow that mentioned him before, the Blob. I can't remember his name now. Tell you, and I can't read it on the Chuck Russell. It says Charles Russell there, but directed by Chuck Russell. Stars Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz in, I think, maybe her film debut. Maybe, I don't know, but. She's never looked better in a film than she has in The Mask. When she first walks into wherever he is it a bank or something, where he is, and like, wow. But anyway, and Josh Temple's here, harpoon at the ready. Welcome. But anyway, right. So yeah, Jim Carrey plays a character. Don't ask me the name of the character. Can't remember. It's a long time since I've seen this film, and no, I've never seen Son of the Mask. He gets a mask that's supposedly imbued with the spirit of the trickster god of Norse mythology, Loki. And when you put it on, it turns you into the mask character. And so it's a vehicle for him doing his wacky japes and smoking and all that stuff and big teeth. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. He was a busy man, was Jim Carrey, wasn't he, in the early to mid-90s. It's a shame he doesn't do much now, but anyway. Moving on. Roswell, the UFO cover-up. We did this on Magnificent Mondays a while ago. So Carl MacLachlan, Martin Sheen, and Dwight Yoakam as Mac Brazel. Based on the true story, I'll put in quotes, true story, of the Roswell UFO crash of 1947. Whereas Carl MacLachlan plays the Air Force, but it was not Army Air Force base at Roswell. Plays the intelligence officer there that's got to deal with the cover-up that ensues about this UFO crash and the bodies that were recovered and all that stuff. And it was a really good. I think it was made for TV. I think originally, but it probably got a theatrical release overseas. I imagine. I don't know, but. It is a surprisingly good film. It is a surprisingly good film. As I said, we did it on Magnificent Mondays a while ago, and I really, really like it. So there, so yeah, it tells you all the ins and outs of UFOs and stuff, if you believe that sort of thing. But anywho, and I've met not Cal MacLachlan's son, but I forgot his name. I forgot the name of the blue Jesse Marcel. Yeah, Jesse Marcel Jr. I met the son of the character, the man that Cal MacLachlan plays in real life. Anyway, right, moving on. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Time Cop. This was directed by, I think, Peter Hyams of 2010, The Relic. Done quite a few films of Peter Hyams. He's a good director. You don't see much of him these days. Is he still alive? I don't know. But Time Cop, it's another film that you think it's going to be stupid because it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. It's going to be stupid, and yeah, it is in places. It does the splits, obviously, at some point, but it's surprisingly entertaining and believable in many ways. All about travelling through time and changing history and all that stuff. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's got to sort out the bad guy who's played by, I can't remember, I think Ron Silver. I always think of Peter Coyote, but no, I think it's Ron Silver. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. He's got to save his wife or something because history's changed. It's a bit like Back to the Future, but different. But anyway, so that's Time Cop. Next up, I genuinely don't know how many there is, so it could just end at any minute. I don't know. Ed Wood from Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp. Martin Landau won an Oscar portraying Bela Lugosi, but it kind of got Bela Lugosi's family angry because they said, and his friends, Bela Lugosi's friends as well, angry, saying he would never have acted like that. But it won Martin Landau an Oscar, and it is very amusing, and Bill Murray's in it as well. Yeah, The Life of Ed Wood. It's about, I think it's like basically a fictionalised version of The Life of Ed Wood. Some say, the worst director in Hollywood history. He did Plan 9 from Outer Space, and I forgot the name of it. The other one where he wears a fluffy jumper. I can't remember what they call it now. Never mind. That one. And it is very amusing. It is very amusing. And it's one of Tim Burton's better films, in my opinion. And as I said, Martin Landau deserved the Oscar for his portrayal of Bela Lugosi. I'm thinking, because he's got a line in it. He's got a line that's just hilarious. But that's the line that got Bela Lugosi's family and friends angry, saying he would never have said anything like that. Effing and blind in it. Anyway, moving on. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I've included this because I love horror films. I like all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. But I think apart from the remake, I think this is my least favourite of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, it is. This is the one that goes all meta, and it's the characters from the previous films, Heather Langenkamp, and obviously Robert Englund, that they're in the film playing themselves. Even Wes Craven's in it playing Wes Craven. Freddy becomes real. That's why it looks different in this to all the other Nightmare on Elm Street films. And it's good, but I don't know. It doesn't have the same, even though it's directed by Wes Craven again, it doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi that the other Nightmare on Elm Street films do for me. But it's still a lot of fun. It is still a lot of fun. Moving on. Clarks, or Clerks, however you want to pronounce it. Pronounce it Clarks. Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith's first film. I think I've only seen this once, but I did enjoy it. I'm a bit of a fan of Kevin Smith. Back in the day, not now, when he just cries all the time on the internet, doesn't he? But this is a hilarious film. I think it's in black and white, isn't it? about convenience store workers and stuff that they get up to. And it is very funny. It's where we're introduced to Jay and Silent Bob and all that, and Randall and the other one I can't seem to remember. But they're all returning Clark's 2 and Clark's 3, which I've not seen. I quite like Clark's 2, but I've not seen Clark's 3, I don't think. Anyway, but Clark's is a top film. I think he made it for like, I don't know, $5,000 or something like that. And it got him on the map because it's a top comedy. So, right. So, moving on. What's next? Don't know. Interview with a Vampire. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Stephen Rea, Antonio Banderas, Christian Slater, and a young, what's the face from Spider-Man? Thingamabob. Kirsten Dunst. Based on the book by Anne Rice, which I've read. I've only read the first one, this one. It's all right. Not my cup of tea. It was lent to me. Like a friend said, "Oh, read this." His friend were really into the Anne Rice vampire books. "Oh, read Interview with the Vampire. It's great." And I read it. I thought, yeah, it's all right. Didn't bother with any of the others. But the film is amazing. Directed by Neil Jordan. Really, really good. About Tom Cruise plays the vampire Lestat, who bites Brad Pitt, turns him into a vampire. Brad Pitt's like a plantation owner, a nice one. He does have slaves, but he treats them nicely and all that. And about Brad Pitt goes off and becomes Lestat's companion over the centuries. They bring in Kirsten Dunst, turn her into a vampire. She stays a child forever, and all the problems that brings. Wingris says, I read Queen of the Damned. I think I read this, but don't remember. I haven't read any of the others. I've seen Queen of the Damned, the film. But all right. Pity they didn't get Tom Cruise back in it, because Lestat's in that, but played by somebody else, but never mind. Anywho. And the Interview with the Vampire of the title is Brad Pitt's giving an interview to Christian Slater in modern times, who's a journalist or something. So he's telling him about his life and all that stuff, and it is really, really good, and it's really gory in places, and it is well worth a watch. No sparkly vampires in this. It's not that film with the sparkly vampires in it. What do they call that now? I can't bloody remember. Not that. Twilight. It's not Twilight. Anyway, top flick. Neil Jordan's a really good director. I love Neil Jordan films. The ones I've seen. Byzantium, that's a Neil Jordan film. Again about vampires, but different sorts of vampires. It's a really good film. And The Company of Wolves, another good one, but that's not vampires. Right, moving on. The Page Master, Macaulay Culkin, remember him? All he seems to do now is just appear on YouTuber shows, doesn't he? Or appear at ringside during wrestling. And then Christopher Lloyd has various characters, and also it's got is this the one? All right. Wayne Grace says this is the one. That's got various Star Trek actors in. Yes, it's got Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy, and Christopher Lloyd in it, hasn't it? Yep. I think that's all, isn't it? I think that's all the Star Trek ones that's in it. Anyway, it's a really good film. It is one of them films that you watch it and think, I really enjoyed that. It starts off in live action. He plays a young Richie Tyler or something like that. He plays this kid that's always afraid of everything, and ends up he's out on his bike and there's a storm and he runs into this library for shelter, and he falls and bangs his head. And does he have a dream or whatever? I don't know. But he ends up going into the animated world. There's some cool CG in it, but it's mostly regular animated, but some cool CG. Where he's exploring the library, the various sections of the library, sort of like horror and adventure and all that stuff, and fantasy, which is why there's dragons and pirates and Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and all that going on. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really good, and well worth a look. So there we go. Frank Welker has been in Trek since Ed Begley Jr. Oh yes, he's in it as well, isn't he? Yes, he plays Richard Tyler's dad, doesn't he? Yes. And Mel Harris, she in it. She was the one of the ancients, wasn't she? Ascended being. Did she play Richard Tyler's mum? I can't remember. But anyway, lots of familiar voices, not faces, lots of familiar voices. Well, a couple of familiar faces. But anyway, it is well worth a look. Well worth a look if you haven't seen it. Robert Picardo was in it too. Oh, there's a pirate. Right, fair enough. There you go. I've never IMDb'd it, so I don't know. So there we go. That's Page Master. Give it a whirl. I'm sure it's on streaming somewhere. He's at it again, Jim Carrey. So that's 3 films in 1 year, isn't it? Dumb and Dumber. Possibly my favourite Jim Carrey film. Is it? Or is Ace Ventura? It's a toss-up between this and Ace Ventura. I think this is funnier than Ace Ventura. But this is from the Farrelly brothers. So it's a bit more madcap than Ace Ventura, even though that is kind of madcap. This is a lot of fun as Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels as friends, Lloyd Christmas and Harry somebody or other, I can't remember his name. I don't remember his last name because it's Christmas. They go on a road trip to return a suitcase to the love of his life, who doesn't know Lloyd. She's the love of Lloyd's life, and hilarity ensues, and it is really funny, and the parakeet and everything and chilies. You've got to see it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I didn't mind the sequel, Dumb and Dumber 2, where it's all about them 30 years later, whatever it was, and a daughter that they think is it Lloyd's daughter, or Harry's daughter, and I think she turns out not to be either of their daughters, but she's still thick. I can't remember. But never mind. But Dumb and Dumber, really, really good. Really, really good. And hilarious. Next up. Oh, that's it. That's the end. So there we go. We're at the end of my list of my top movies of 1994. Right, so what we'll do, I'll just not stop the screen, I'll just remove it. And I've done something wrong because I'm an idiot. And we'll go through the list one more time. That's what we'll do. Right, so hang on. Go back. There we go. Right, so my top 5. We'll do my top 5. I'll leave that there. I can't be bothered faffing on that. Right, so my top 5 films of 1994 are, again, not in any order, but we had Stargate, The Movie, True Lies, The Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction, and Star Trek Generations, with or without Captain Kirk. That's my top 5. They're what are my 5 favourite films of that year. Some of them you could have interchanged with what I'm going to see in the honourable mentions, but we'll get to them now. We'll do the honourable mentions now. Don't know how many there were. I could have counted them then, couldn't I? Never mind, we'll count them now. And the honourable mentions, we had Ace Ventura, 3 entries from Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, followed by Naked Gun 33 and The Final Insult. But we all just watched it for Anna Nicole Smith, didn't we? Because, let's not deceive ourselves. But he was still funny. Then we had Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, the bus that couldn't slow down. Then Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. The Lion King. I'm sure you've heard of that. Forrest Gump. Life is a box of chocolates, or whatever. And the second one from Jim Carrey, The Mask. Somebody stop me! And then we had Roswell with Cal MacLachlan, Martin Sheen, and Dwight Yoakam, and some others as well that were quite famous, but I'm blanking. He was in The Thing. Can't remember his name. And I can't make it out on here. Doesn't say. Never mind. Then we had Jean-Claude Van Damme and Ron Silver in Time Cop, directed by Peter Hyams. I'll have to look him up and see if he's done anything recently. Because he used to be this top director, did Peter Hyams. He was one of these. He wrote, director of photography, did everything. But anyway, fun stuff. Then we had Ed Wood from Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette, Jeffrey Jones. Less said about that, the better. And Bill Murray. Then we had Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Still fun, but not the best of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. But different. I think could this film have given Wes Craven the idea of being meta and going on and doing the Scream franchise? Probably. Anyway, then we had Clerks, however you want to pronounce it, from Kevin Smith. Launched his View Askew universe, didn't it? That series of movies he did. I think after this, he did Clerks, then he did Mallrats, then Chasing Amy, then I can't remember. Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, I can't remember. Next up, Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles, making you think they were going to do more of them, and they did, but they weren't the same, were they? They did Queen of the Damned. They missed out Vampire Lestat for some reason, and they did skip to Queen of the Damned, which were alright, but it wasn't really in the same league as this film, was it? But anyway, so there we go. And they've done a TV series, haven't they, which I've not seen, but I don't know if that's any good. Then The Page Master, Macaulay Culkin, and Christopher Lloyd, and lots of Star Trek actors and actresses. Then Jim Carrey again in Dumb and Dumber. His most annoying noise. The most annoying noise ever. Whatever that noise he makes. Funny stuff. Oh, is that the last one? Wow, that's it. I didn't count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 honourable mentions. Is that a record? No, it's me talking. So there we go. That's my top 5 and 15 honourable mentions. Favourite movies of 1994. Wingris, I think all 3 of the Jim Carrey movies also had animated series. Yes, I think they did, didn't they? And The Mask and Ace Ventura even crossed over. Did they? In the animated thing? I don't know. I've not seen any of them, so I don't know. Clark's had an animated series, didn't it? I've not seen that either. So there we go. Right, done and dusted for another week. Or another year, or whatever. What's going to happen in 1995? Let's have a look. What films I've got there. I won't tell you, I'll just give you clues. One of them, maybe 2 of them, I can't remember, but at least one of them we've done on Magnificent Mondays. There's action adventure, there's comedy, there's I'll give you a clue, it's a Pixar film, superheroes, there's a James Bond film, and in the honourable mentions we've got all sorts of stuff, horror, fantasy, true stories, one film that you probably never heard of. But it is a film. I've only seen it once, but I've read the book that it was based on, and I really like the book. And the film were okay. I didn't mind the film version of the book. But anyway, and another View Askew universe movie. So there we go. So he rattled them out, didn't he? Yeah, so that's a clue. Mallrats. That's one of the honourable mentions for next time. Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. These shows don't last very long, do they? An hour. I'm in and out and done, and all that. Right, what's coming up next? We're on Wednesday. Friday, we're on the last part of my Hammer House of Horror review of that series. We're doing the last 3 episodes. That's what they're called. Mark of Satan, Touch of Evil, something like, I can't remember, and something else, I can't remember. The last 3 episodes of that. So then it'll be done with. So that's coming up on Friday, and then next Monday, for Magnificent Mondays, we're doing the Wild Geese. Yay! Bit of Richard Burton and Roger Moore and Richard Harris and Jack Watson and Hardy Kruger, being very racist. But anyway, so there we go. So that's coming up next Monday. And Grace says, "Oh, you're wearing your own merch." Yes, I am. Yes, because when I plugged my merch earlier on, I went like that. Anyway, I did some new merch for the store for Friday Night Appointment with Fear. I did include a drawing I'd done of Ingrid Pitt being a vampire. They want a photo of it. It was a drawing I'd done, and they rejected it for copyright reasons. So there we go. So it must have been a good drawing. It must have been. So there we go. So I couldn't do that one. I've designed another one, but I haven't got round to submitting it. But anyway. Right, we're all done and dusted. Thanks, Win Grace and Josh Temple. Hang on. He says, I made the mistake of gaining weight after I bought your shirts. I need to fix that. That's why I get the biggest ones I can. I get massive shirts. If I ever lose weight, I'm going to have to get all smaller shirts. And I am losing weight a bit, but I still like big baggy shirts. I like them all. I don't like tight T-shirts. I like them baggy. Even though I'm always catching the arms on the door handles and stuff. But anyway. Right, before I go, I will say it one more time. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Explore the description for links for all that stuff, like merch and my books and all that. My palaver. Become a member and all that stuff. Like how Jack O'Neill needed a 2XL. My 2XL days are well behind me. But anyway. And all that stuff. And thanks, Win Grace and Josh Temple. I don't think anybody else popped in, did they? No, I don't think they did. Let's have a look on Rumble, see if anybody's added anything on Rumble. No, they haven't. So never mind. Right, I'm going to go now. I'm going to get my son angry because I fancy a takeaway. And he keeps telling me not to order takeaways. But I want one because I'm hungry. So I'm going to get him one as well. And he'll be angry with me. I didn't want this. Get it out and shut up. Right, so anyway. Best wishes to my mate, Simon, who's in hospital at the moment. He had a run-in with a cat. And ended up in hospital, playing with his cat. I'll just leave it there. Just let your imagination run wild about what happened. But so best wishes to him. Hopefully he'll be home soon. Tomorrow. He's okay. I've spoken to him on the phone and all that. He's fine. But best wishes to him. He's popped up a couple of times on my streams. If he's been here, he's come in on camera and said hello. It's him. So best wishes to him. And hope he just stop annoying your cat. You silly bugger. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other. Hang on, where are we? Look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the...
That old Yorkshire Geek with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide